Hey y'all, I'm so excited to bring my first Hip Kit Club layout to you guys. And I'm starting out by just looking through the box of stuff that was sent, and these are all the kits combined in here. I know it doesn't look very organized, I apologize for that, but I do know that I want to use this wood paper, which is by Elle Studio or LA Studio, whichever you prefer. And then also the pictures of me tossing my bouquet, and it's kind of a funny face, and so I did want to use that, and I did want to use a black and white photo to make all the color in the kit pop. So I took the Studio Calico stencil because I knew I wanted something in the background, and I wanted it, my goal was for it to be subtle, and this looks really subtle but maybe a little bit too subtle. And so what I end up doing is taking the October Afternoon sprinkler and spraying that, and then I just did not like the harsh line at all. But I made the mistake of just continuing instead of starting over at this moment, but I do end up changing quite a bit of stuff up. So I'm working on my layers right now. I am using the bokeh looking papers from October Afternoon, the heart papers, Elle Studio. This washi tape is October Afternoon as well. And a lot of the elements are like the tags and the different ephemera is going to be Elle Studio. And so I'm kind of just getting that together. And typically the way that I do my layers is I do all of the big layers first, and then I go back with smaller pieces and kind of tuck those in. So I'm cutting off a strip to put in the top, at the top of the layout, and I change all of this up so it doesn't really even end up mattering, but just for the sake of the video, I will go through just the process just like I normally would. I do use my tiny attacher. It runs out of staples, and so I move that whole tag that says date that's from Elle Studio. I move that anyway, and then I'm going to go ahead and staple with my regular staple. I couldn't find the tiny attacher staples anyway. Of course, whenever you are in need of them, you can't find them. And I popped up the picture on the pop dots as well. This little remember sticker is from the Dear Lizzy sticker book, and I don't end up using it. I put it on pop dots and it just didn't sit well on my layers, and so I set it aside thinking I was gonna pick it back up and figure out a different way to use it, and I guess I just forgot about it, so I don't actually end up using that. And now I do know that I want to use this wood veneer, that piece that came in the kit as well. I believe it came in the main part of the kit, and I did back that on part of the Elle Studio tag so that it would pop. Here's where I'm looking through the October Afternoon chipboard, and I know that I want to use these frames, but here's the problem. The problem is that I started to put them in a diagonal motion from the top right hand corner to the bottom left hand corner. But if you guys look in the top left hand corner, if that makes sense, I put that cluster of embellishments, or those cluster of embellishments up there, and so it just didn't flow right, and it looked like way too much was going on, especially when I added these arrows and the excuse me, the arrows from the rub-ons and the arrows, and the arrow from the stamp set, which is so cute, and the roller date stamp. Just the placement of it all, it was all so cute. And I think if I would have thought out the placement a little bit better, it would have turned out, I guess, a little bit more cohesive, but it just wasn't working for me with the way that I was placing things on there. And so, which is a lot of the reason why I changed it up. And so one of the things, I was able to salvage mostly everything on the page except for the rub-ons, of course, and the sequins, which was fine because we got quite a bit of sequins, but I didn't use very many, but those rub-ons were so cute. But they do come in there's quite a few on the page, and so it didn't really bother me a whole lot, but I still wished I could have taken them with me, but obviously you can't. So I ended up adding another strip of paper and tried to nest those two together, or try to tuck that one under, but so I had to lift up that other paper, which kind of gave it a distressed look, which I liked. But again, I change up the background, so you'll see what I do here in a second. So I'm using this Stampin' Up! Glue. It's like kind of like a glossy accent to adhere the sequins down. Again, I'm loving those frames. I'm loving the diagonal and the triangular look and design to it. and that's why I took that top left-hand corner embellishments off. And so I did like the flow of it better, but the arrows and the roller date or the roller stamp from October Afternoon, I just could have thought out the placement a little bit better. So the thickers came in the kit as well, or came in the color kit, and those are Dear Lizzie that I use that says this, and then Special Day is wood veneer. So I ended up using that as my title. And here's where I make a pretty big mistake. I cut off the bottom and it just really seemed to chop off quite a bit, which is why I'm trying to figure out a way to put it back on there. And I don't end up using that. I end up adding a different strip instead. I end up using a gray chevron strip. So here it is right here. And then I'll adhere that. And then I believe I adhere a piece of the green El Studio polka dot paper as well. I think I ripped it, so I had to go back and cut another one, which is fine. Another great reason to have the pattern paper add-on, because you have quite a bit of room to work and quite a bit of paper to work with. So I showed the layout there, and then here I am on a brand new day starting with the other wood paper, which I'm so glad I had not used for anything else yet. And I just think that made such a big difference. It was so much more subtle, and I put it in a place where I knew that the focus of the layout, which is the picture and the layers, would stand out. Or just pop just a little bit, but not a whole lot like the other page did. And so I just think that made such a big difference. So that's just part of learning, and it made me happier, and I liked the layout better. And I don't like to wish I would have done things differently. I know it sounds like I'm talking about something super serious right now, but I just don't like to wish I would have done something differently. I just do it, and if I like it better, then that's great. And so that's why I changed it. So I went back and, like I said, I salvaged the chipboard, and I went ahead and put that in the triangular design like I had before. I added a strip of paper at the top there, and then some washi as well, and tucked the washi underneath that paper. And then I'm looking at what other chipboard elements I want to use. So I do use that scalloped wood grain chipboard there at the top. And then I go ahead and glue those pieces down. They are adhesive backed, but I did add some glue just in case. So, and here's where I'm looking for some arrows to use, and I do like that orange arrow. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a few more pieces here, and then I'll go to the top right hand corner and add some as well. Add some there as well. Sorry, it's really late at night, so I'm hoping that this works. So this is like my third or fourth time I've tried to do this voiceover, and for some reason it was just kind of acting funny at first, or this first few times. So hopefully this is working. So I wanted to add this flare as well, and it's with the Daily Flash collection from October Afternoon 2. And then I felt like it needed another arrow or two, so I want to put those 3 circle pieces there, and then I end up accidentally rubbing on that curved arrow that I didn't expect to get there, and that was my fault because I must have touched it or something. And so that's okay. I just go with it. It doesn't bother me a whole lot. And right now I'm trying to figure out what else to go on the layout. So now I'm taking this stamp set from the stamp add-on, and I'm using some, I believe it's Stampin' Up! Ink. I think it's called Bermuda Bay. And I'm using, instead of using black ink, I just felt like that would work a little bit better. And then I'm adding some sequins with the same adhesive that I used before, the Stampin' Up! Adhesive, which is a lot like Glossy Accents. I think I mentioned that earlier. I believe this is going to be the final part of the layout, and I will show it, and then I'll have some final pictures coming up. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any questions, always let me know, and check out hipkitclub.net. Okay, thank you guys. Hope you have a great weekend. Bye.